guess what? I got another one. Hygger sent me their new slim LED strip light, and I'm going to give it a shot. I've got a tank that needs a new light. If you guys are familiar with how I like my lights to run, we'll get into it in a little bit, but hopefully this one works out and fits that mold. Now this is the HG128, is that right? Yeah, the 128 light. It's a 36 watt, 36 inch LED strip light. You guys are familiar with Hygger lights, especially if you watch my channel. I love Hygger lights. I think they provide about the best value for money. That's what I'm trying to say. They provide about the best value for money in my opinion, and they seem to grow plants just fine. Also helps me keep my algae down, though that hasn't been the case lately. Now, no fault of the light. That's the fault of excess nutrients. Now what you may see up here and what you've seen in recent videos is I have a 10-gallon, 3-foot Iwagumi bookshelf style aquarium. And the light on it does not work with my auto timers, smart sockets, smart outlets, right? Let me see if I can find one of those. These guys here, I run these Wi-Fi enabled smart outlets and I love them to death. I pretty much have my whole house wired up on smart outlets, including the fish room. Now you could also go analog style like this one over here, though I'm kind of a stickler for noise, and once these kind of wear in after about a month, they go tick 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 tick. Annoying, isn't it? So I use these. Love them. Little Wi-Fi outlets. You can find them on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. Why not? Find these on Amazon. The brand I use here has worked flawlessly. I've got a ton of them. All right, so why is that important? Well, all of the lights that I run from Hygger, I like to click on and off with those outlets. A lot of these lights have kind of their own smart outlet built in. You plug them into a solid power source like this one up here, and then it will turn itself on and off. I don't like that because if you have a power outage, most of these default back to just off, and you got to come and turn them back on, but you got to turn them on at the right time and then set the timer on them again. And it's just a pain in the rear end. Versus the Wi-Fi outlets or the smart outlets, they will resume their regular scheduled time because somehow they know what time it is. I don't know, technology. For example, let me show you. I'll step out of the way. I have my smartphone here, and if we go to right rack lights and I click them off, you will see that those click off. Now, this one up here is connected to that same outlet for demonstration purposes. I'm going to resume power as if we had a power outage. And you will notice that the one below, and you can't see there's another tank down here, those on the power strip that are working off the smart outlet, they turned back on. And they will do so no matter what happens. This guy here does not turn on again. So what I have to do is I have to go and grab the remote. Where's the remote? Back here. So I have to grab the, I don't even know if that's in frame, but I have to grab the remote over here and turn it back on. Find the power button over here. There. And then I have to like click it back to its 12-hour cycle. It gets out of sync with the rest of the aquariums. I'm rambling. You get the point. It's a pain in the rear. So we're going to replace that light with this one. Let's start with an unboxing and see if it passes the smart outlet test. All right, guys, awkward floor view time. Let's go through a couple of quick specs that Hygger says on this. It's 3,260 lumens, 3,260 lumens. The light spectrum is made for freshwater. 35 to 40 inch tanks, and that would be 90 to 102 centimeters. All right, I think it refocused on the floor. Let's go ahead and open this up. I did open it to check for damage. I have to do that obviously when a company sends me a product, but I did not test it. You can see that this is in the original wrapping and packaging. Haven't unboxed this or tested it at all. So let's go ahead and get the packaging off of here, and we will plug it in and see if it passes test number 1. I need a knife. All right, I got it all unboxed here. It is definitely a slim light, thin as far as the height goes. It's less than ½ inch, and as far as the width goes, it's 3 inches. In comparison to my other Hygger lights, the HG75s, which are my favorite, are 3 3/4 inches. So about 3/4 slimmer. For the LED array, just from my experience with these strip lights, it looks like it's an RGBW style light, not a smart LED or variable color intensity LED. All right, so in comparison side by side, you can see that the new one is a little bit longer than the one I had on there before. This particular model, by the way, is the Hygger HG128. And if I bring it up here to where you can see the LEDs, focus camera, you can see they are smart LEDs. I call them smart LEDs. I think they're technically like a variable intensity or variable color LED versus we have a standard LEDs here. I kind of prefer this model. I have my most success with the RGBW style LED strip lights. Let's get it plugged in, see if it passes the main test, and if I'm going to be using this light. This could be a real short video if it doesn't. All right, I'm down here where all the magic happens. Let's see if it turns on the initial plug-in. Sometimes you have to power these on the first time, but let's see if the power was out. Ah, all right. Looks like it has passed the test, but let's verify that. I want to make sure this is on 100% intensity. Wow, that thing's kind of bright. Woo. And I don't have any timers or anything. Oh, I messed up going through the colors. Well, there's a display. If you push the power button there, you go through the different color settings. I like it on this one at 100%. Where is my phone? I have lost my phone. I found my phone. It was up here. So let's go back into the app. We're going to turn off the entire rack. The full rack is off. Let's turn the rack back on. Yes, so it passes the test. Whew. All right, guys, I know it seems kind of trivial to have the light turned back on with a smart outlet, but let me tell you, I have 18 lights in this home, and if you have to run around after a power outage, which we get a lot of in Florida, and reset all of these lights, you're not going to want to do it. I promise you, you're not going to want to do it. Let's get it on the aquarium, see how it looks up there. Perhaps we should go through the features of the remote first, in case you're interested in buying a slim LED 36-watt, 36-inch light for your aquarium. Let's look at the control box. Okay, if you've owned a Hygger light before, or some other brands of lights, they all kind of have the same style remote. At the top, you will see, if you want to just leave it plugged into power all the time and not use a smart outlet, you have your timer settings. Now, it looks like Hygger's added some timer settings here. Usually you get like 6 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour. Now it looks like we have 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour, 10 hour, and 12 hour. So that's a really cool feature right up there at the top. They've added more, sorry for the shakiness here. I'm trying to hold this in the air. They've added more timer features. So that's awesome. That's pretty cool. You see a start end right there. So you can set a start and end time on the center section here. That's your 24-hour setting. So again, if you want to leave it plugged into regular power or constant power, that's the word I'm looking for, you can just plug it into your wall and you can set your own lighting schedule. Again, you will probably have to reset that in the event of a power outage or power loss. So just keep that in mind. Then you have your power button down here, and it also changes your color mode as you saw. This light does have a memory where it will remember that color setting. So if you like it on red, then it will power back on to red the next time the light turns on. Little settings button here that the instructions talk about. And finally, down at the bottom, I was changing the brightness with the plus and minus sign, and you have a scale in the middle there, 20%, 40%, 60, 80, and 100% intensity. And that's really all you guys need in an aquarium light, in my opinion. Now, if you need more features and more customizable settings, more customization in your light, then your aquascaping level is probably well beyond mine, and you probably should not be watching my channel in the first place. So Hygger makes lights for us, the common fish keeper. So let's go get this light on my common fish tank and see how she does. Ooh, I like that, guys. It gives it a bluer appearance. Let me bump the ISO down. Let me see if I can get it closer to what I see. This is a closer color rendition to what I see with the naked eye here. Just a little bit on the blue side. Still a white light, but really kind of adds a nice ambience there. I don't know if the camera is going to pick this up, but it's making like a rainbow silhouette on the back wall with the reflection through the surface of the water. Color rendition a little bit different. This is extreme, but you can kind of see more of that bluish tone. Again, this is about how I see it in real life. Yep, right there. So nice and bright, gonna do the job that it's supposed to, and that is grow plants. But hopefully it's a little less intense, and I know that sounds weird, but I would like it just a little less intense at full power than the previous light on here, because I've been battling an algae issue in this aquarium. I will link that video at the end of this one, but we still have just a little bit of fuzzy green Come on, camera. You can see there we have a little bit of fuzzy green algae still trying to come back. So this is going to be a good test to see, does this light promote algae growth, or will it grow the plants and keep the algae at bay like this aquarium and this aquarium? By the way, let's just appreciate that frog bit for a moment. Here you can see what I mean, that the new Hygger HG128 light has kind of a blue tint to it on the top aquarium versus the aquarium on the bottom, which is running an HG075 light, both by Hygger, but just a little bit different of a light, little different color spectrum, which I think is cool, adds variety to the fish room. When you have this many aquariums, you need a little variety. And that's going to do it for this quick review on the Hygger HG128 light. I know, you want to see if it grows plants. Well, look, first I want to get this video out to you because I've been slacking on putting videos out and the YouTube algorithm is getting messed up and I'm not making any money to be able to buy more fish and stuff. So I need to get a video out, just being honest. Number two, with more honesty, I'm a YouTuber. I want you to watch another video, and what I can do is an update to this light later on down the road when I've had time to see if this newly planted, which I just did last week, this newly planted aquarium grows and fills in with the HG128. So subscribe to the channel if you want to be able to find this update video later on. And finally, the reason that I am ending the video now with just kind of showing you the light, plugging it in, and showing you kind of the color spectrum is that I already know the light's going to work. I run all Hygger lights in my house. I'm going to double check. I don't think, I lied. I do have one AQQA light in operation right now, but out of the 18 lights I have, I promise you, that's the only one that's not a Hygger light. So I know that this light is going to work. I've never had any of my Hygger lights fail. I've been running Hygger lights over 2 years, never had one stop working on me. My 75 gallon has two 48-inch Hygger strip lights, the original OG Hygger light when they were first kind of doing these strip lights, and both of them are still running, and that aquarium looks fantastic. You want to see it? So here we have two of the OG 48-inch strip lights on an absolutely beautiful 75-gallon aquarium. So tell me that Hygger lights don't work, and I'll tell you that you're a liar. All right, so there's all the proof I think you need. If you want one of these lights, go down in the description. There's a link that you can go buy one. That also helps support the channel with the Amazon link. There's going to be a direct link to Hygger if you prefer to shop directly from Hygger and not through Amazon. You can click that link. Hygger still gives me a little bit of money if you do that too. So support the channel. Get yourself a Hygger light, new slim line with the blue tint. Hygger, I know you're watching. Thank you so much for supporting the channel once again. I can't wait to see how this light compares to the other ones. Why don't you guys go watch another video while you're waiting for these plants to grow in, and I'll catch you on that video.